Welcome to Always Auburn with your host, Tyler Crane.
All right, we're back at you with Always Auburn. Big week. Big week. Norman, Oklahoma, man. We are going on the road to a hostile environment. A lot of things at stake. Lot of answers are going to come out this week to the concerns and the questions we have so far. And we've addressed a lot of that going into this week with Coach Freeze and the defense. And we've also praised Jackson Arnold. We've looked at John Mateer. And we got plenty more to come as far as leading up to the game on Saturday. But I want to take a second to add in a little spin on the commentary here and kind of take a look back in the past at a week that is somewhat similar, in my opinion, to what we're leading up to into this week. Now, there are some differences, but at the same time, I think if you look back at the 2013 success and how Auburn really defined their season and got back into the national spotlight after going 0-8 in conference play and 3-9 overall the year before under Gene Chizik, you can really point to that Texas A&M game that was, I want to say, mid-October. Auburn had went on the road. Auburn was still looking for that big win, that big win to put them back in the media's eye and back in the conversation that we're a force to be reckoned with, and you're going to have to pay attention to Auburn, and it's not going to be an easy week when you play Auburn, that we're fixing to change the narrative. And I think we're at that this week. I think that the Oklahoma game will be one of the biggest. If we're able to go in there and win the football game, it will really reestablish Auburn football as a national powerhouse. I think and I think you can build off this momentum, and it can take us to levels, to heights that we haven't reached in a long time. And I think it is just a huge opportunity. I think it was the same situation in 2013. If you can remember, Texas A&M was number 7 in the country. We went in there as number 24 team in the country. We had not really beat anybody significant. We had one loss. We lost to LSU about 3 weeks before that on the road in a very rainy, sloppy game where we went down 21-0 early and just couldn't fight our way out of it. I think we eventually went on to lose that game 21-14. We tried to make it a game. It was a very rainy day, rainy night in Baton Rouge, and there just wasn't. Time kind of ran out on us, and we got off to a slow start, and it kind of haunted us through the rest of that game. But that Texas A&M game a couple weeks later gave us a new opportunity and gave us new life to really put us back on the map. And I see that with Oklahoma now. It's at different points in the season, and we don't have a loss right now. But there's so much that points to, if we can get past this game, that we can ride on this momentum and ride into Kyle Field next week in Texas A&M and build off that. As you can remember, we went to Tennessee not a couple weeks after that big Texas A&M win in 2013 and beat the Vols, beat a pretty good Tennessee Volunteer team. And we just rode that momentum all the way into the prayer at Jordan-Hare, when we beat the Georgia Bulldogs. And then 2 weeks later, after a bye week, the kick six, there goes Davis up the sideline. SEC championship the week after that. I mean, you can look back and point at that Texas A&M game to say that Auburn gained their confidence that week and turned the tide of what the outside world thought about Auburn football and really got us back in that spotlight and in that position that we all know we're able to be in as a very good college football program historically. So I look to that game for the same type of hope. I hope that we can go in there this week and really make a statement to the college football world that Auburn is back, under Coach Hugh Freeze, and the things that he's saying about Auburn being a top tier program in college football and in the SEC is really going to manifest into a victory this week, and we can ride that momentum into Texas A&M into the next week when Georgia comes to town, and it can all come into play. But you gotta have that kind of foundation built, that pinpoint win that you can point to at the end of the season and say, you know what, things started changing when we knocked off the Sooners. Just like back in 2013, things started changing when we got over that hump in College Station on the road and we gained that confidence. So that's just a little fun, creative segment I wanted to bring to the channel. Maybe looking back and looking at the success of the 2013 team and how it all started in College Station can manifest into this year, and we can see the same sort of success going down the road this year after a big win this week in Norman, Oklahoma. So that's what I got for you on this segment. We'll start bringing it to you kind of in the midweek during the weeks of big games. So look forward to doing this more often. And War Eagle.